Not bad for a Monday. It's May 11th, 2026. Back-to-back terror songs, kickstarting the show. Well, I wanted to amp things up, really. And I've had a clean edit of Terror's new album just sitting in my email. I'm like, why not play two of my favorite tracks off of it? Shout out to that band for putting out clean edits, really. Makes my work a whole lot easier. Makes me play these tracks a whole lot faster. If you want to get a hold of me, you can over at 208-535-1015. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend. We talked about a lot of it on the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem. I'll make sure to get that podcast episode up on demand wherever you get your podcasts, places like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, what else is there? Deezer, YouTube as well, K-Bear 101 RMG, the noon hour of Madness and Mayhem, available on demand, as well as all the other shows that we have here in the building. You can find them all at riverbendmediagroup.com/podcasts. So over the weekend, obviously, I was supposed to interview Vanna, but that didn't happen. As I talked about it last week, she posted saying, quote unquote, I got the throat plague. And I went, oh boy, here we go. I'm going to get a last second cancellation. And of course, as the master predictor, Peach's predictions are always right. Sure enough, Saturday morning, I get that email while I'm at breakfast with Aubrey and her friends. Hey, Vanna's trying her best to save her voice. We're not going to have her speak and do an interview. Sorry about this. So I'm hoping that we're able to set up an interview via Zoom whenever she feels better. I mean, this tour has been going on for quite some time, and I truthfully, honestly understand what an artist goes through to tour. I mean, you got to think about it. Night after night after night in a new city, you're traveling everywhere, you don't know where you're at, you're performing songs on stage, boom, you spend most of the day sleeping. It's a tough thing to do. It's a tough gig. And you hardly make any money doing it, too. That's the sad part. I just watched a Nick Nocturnal podcast clip of one of the dudes in Periphery talking about how metal bands are going broke. So there's that. Yeah, a very uplifting start to Peach's Pit Party at the Vanna concert. Right as Red Hook, the opening band, the first band on the lineup, went on stage, I put in my earplugs, and sure enough, my stupid butt decided to shove the one of the earplugs in a little too far, and it wouldn't come out. I posted a video about this on social media, the whole story there. But I figured if you haven't seen it yet, I will talk about it here too, that I shoved the earplug in a little too hard, and it wouldn't come out. So I panicked. I looked like an idiot trying to get it out of my ear. Maddie's girlfriend Bryn was standing there next to me because Maddie was taking pictures of the band up in front of the pit. I'm trying my best to take it out. Wouldn't come out. Wouldn't budge. So I just ditched Bryn, and I go right to the bathroom, go to the biggest stall, lock it, and try my best to tap the side of my head to push it out. I do that weird thing, like what happens when you try to get water out of your ear after you've been swimming kind of thing. Wouldn't come out. And luckily enough, there's this staff member at the complex by the name of Rachel. She's awesome. And I went up to her and said, hey, my earplug is stuck. Is there any way that you could help me get rid of it or help me get it out of my ear? She then takes me to the guy in charge of the bar. He goes on the walkie, calls for medic. Another guy shows up, walks me to the medic room. Four people wearing medic t-shirts guide me to the room. I sit down. The guy grabs the thing of tweezers, pulls it right out. And I'm sure this wasn't the first time this has happened, nor will it be the last time this is going to happen. Somebody's earplug getting stuck. Luckily, it was out of there right away. I was starting to panic a little bit. I was like, oh no, do I need to go to the emergency room in Salt Lake City, out of all places? Luckily, I am fine. My ear's a little bit bruised and all of that, so yay. All right, there you go. There's that story. 208-535-1015. If you want to get a hold of me, I'll talk about some more random crap coming up here in just a few on K-Bear 101. I got to give a shout out to loyal listener Justin posting this in the K-Bear 101 Idaho Rock and Metal Facebook group. He said, K-Bear Army Unite, I have seen a couple of suggestions to name the kitten Peaches. This kitten that is a part of the Pocatello Zoo, Idaho-Pocatello. I'm so sorry. Is there a zoo in Pocatello? I thought there was only the Idaho Falls Zoo. I apologize if that comes off stupid, or if there. Let me look at this real quick. view their profile. So it's on 2nd Avenue in Pocatello. Zoo Idaho's mission, preserving Intermountain West wildlife and habitat through conservation and education. So there's a baby cougar that is now at Zoo Idaho in Pocatello, and they were looking for names for it, and Justin suggested, why not name the kitten Peaches? And so I'm hoping that a lot of people just invade their comment section and name this kitten Peaches. Why not? Let's bring the baby cougar to the studio. I'm sure Jade and Victor would love that. Put that thing on a leash, of course. That's still not gonna... I'm sure a cougar can outpower a zookeeper. I don't know, a baby cougar? How strong's a baby cougar? Do I want to Google search that real fast? How strong is a baby cougar? Oh, they develop strength rapidly, starting with spotted coats for camouflage, developing hunting skills through play. By 3 months, they weigh 15 to 20 pounds. Okay, that's talking about the size. They become adept at tree climbing and start following their mother to kill around 6 to 8 months. Jeez. Exhibiting high-quality agility or high agility and latent predatory power. So these things can pretty much do some damage at a very, very, very early age. Do we really want a baby cougar in here just because it's named? It has the same name as me? I mean, if it attacks one of us, we can record it and post it on social media. It'll be great content, you know. Got to do everything for content nowadays. K-Bear 101 FM on all social media platforms. Apparently, young Americans are feeling pretty rough about the job market right now. This new poll found younger workers in the U.S. are more pessimistic about finding a good job than people their age in a lot of other countries, which honestly tracks. You apply for one job, suddenly they want 5 years of experience, a bachelor's degree, the ability to operate heavy machinery for $14 an hour. That's why it's worth keeping an eye on opportunities that are actually local in hiring right now. The newly redesigned HireEastIdaho.com is connecting local people with local companies, and this week's Hire East Idaho Job of the Week is a sales representative position with Grand Peaks Prime Meats. It's a remote role with earning potential between $100 and $500 daily. They're looking for somebody who is self-motivated, good with people, ready to help grow the business. You'd be working directly with customers, taking orders, helping communicate custom requests with the butchers, building customer relationships, making cold calls, and helping introduce new products. If you've worked in sales, restaurants, butcher shops, or food service, they especially want to hear from you. Bilingual English and Spanish speakers are also preferred. Did I say prefer? Preferred. If that sounds like your opportunity, apply now at HireEastIdaho.com. And while you're there, check out even more local openings. Hire East Idaho, connecting local people with local opportunity. HireEastIdaho.com. Go to it. Why is it that music festivals are always like in the worst places? I mean, Florida, I feel like it's a fun vacation destination regardless. I mean, there's a lot of Florida man, Florida woman stories that come out of there, obviously. But other than that, I mean, people like to go to Miami over like Birmingham, Alabama. Am I right? I'm seeing here Furnace Fest 2026 has announced the lineup taking place at the Sloss Furnaces in Birmingham on October 10th and 11th. This will be the only North American tour date where Bring Me the Horizon performs the 20-year anniversary of Count Your Blessings in full, and Under Oath will be performing Define the Great Line in full. You also have on that lineup A Day to Remember, Circa Survive, Chiodos, there's a Chiodos, I don't know how you say their name, We Came as Romans, Hate Breed, Poison the Well, Cartel, Hell the Sun, a whole bunch of other bands. You got Motionless in White, Slaughter to Prevail, Kublai Khan. I mean, music festivals to me, they don't look all that appealing. I would love to see a whole bunch of different bands, but at the same time, do I want to go sleep in a tent on festival grounds or stand there in the blistering hot sun, especially in the South, like Birmingham, Alabama? Do I really want to go all the way out to Alabama for these shows? Or just wait for them to come here, which is why you should always check out that concert calendar at riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. I was just in Salt Lake City for Vana, Deadlands, Chandler Layton, Red Hook as well. That was a fun show overall. I don't know exactly when my next show will be. I think it might just be in July. I think I might not be able to go to a concert until July because there wasn't really anything catching my eye for the month of June personally, but that might be different for you, to each their own. riverbendmediagroup.com/calendar. Go check out that concert calendar. There's also a shortcut to it via the K-Bear 101 app. I think this song went viral, and that's the reason why, the streaming numbers for it were incredibly high. It's from Dexter and the Moon Rocks, Freaking Out on K-Bear 101. Well, it's another day, another story of FIFA trying to milk as much money as they can out of World Cup fans. The latest cash grab comes with the best seats for the final at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey on July 19th. The price of those primo seats has now tripled to $33,000 each. FIFA previously had a price of about $11,000 for Category 1 seats at the final, but now only wheelchair and easy access tickets are available at that price. The Kansas City Royals' early season offensive explosion at home has caused a restaurant chain to change a promotion and has angered fans in the process. Hawaiian Bros Island Grill teamed up with the Royals for a promotion where if the team scored 6 runs during a home game, fans enrolled in its rewards program could visit locations in Missouri, Kansas, Nebraska, Arkansas, and also Iowa to score a $12 lunch plate for free. The Royals have hit that mark 8 times so far this season, including 5 in a row between April 21st and 26th. Hawaiian Bros gave away more than 41,000 free meals by the start of May, so the chain has altered the promo to a buy one, get one free offer. Many fans have complained about the change on social media, with one small group of fans even calling for a boycott. Yikes. NFL linebacker Bobby Wagner has an amazing resume. He's played 14 years in the league, has a Super Bowl ring. He's been named first-team All-Pro 6 times and a Pro Bowler 11 times. On top of that, he received an honorary doctorate from his alma mater, Utah State. After speaking at the school's commencement, Wagner joked that he will no longer respond to the name Bobby, explaining it's doctor only. The guy is a beast. Bobby Wagner, one of the best of all time, certainly a Hall of Famer. That does it for your Shot Clock Sports Update right here on K-Bear 101. All right, the FCC has officially released transcripts from the complaints they got over Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show. Apparently more than 2,000 people took time out of their day to report it. 2,000! There are actual people out there who watched that and said, you know what, hold on, honey, grab the laptop. The federal government needs to hear about this immediately. Somehow Texas and Florida made up more than 20% of the complaints, which I don't know how I feel about that. Could you imagine being the poor FCC employee opening emails on a Monday morning? It's just like, I was deeply offended by dancing. There were hips involved. He said words I didn't understand, and I didn't like the confidence at all. I'm looking here at some of the complaints. I mean, they released all the different complaints, not the people's names, but where they complained from. February 11th, 2026, from Maitland, Florida. I am appalled at the vulgarity displayed by the Super Bowl halftime show with 2 exclamation points. My grandchildren, of course, it has to be a grandparent that's offended. My grandchildren asked, what are they doing? Do you know how fast they got shut off? Or that got shut off? Immediately. How disgusting to have such filth exposed on TV, not just to children, but anyone watching that so-called show. The words of that so-called music, so vulgar, despicable. Somebody did comment, so you understood the words he was singing, even though they weren't in English. Interesting. The halftime show for the 2026 The Super Bowl showed obscene themes and foul language while children were watching. This is another complaint from Tullahoma, Tennessee. Broadcasters are supposed to avoid obscene or profane material on public airwaves when children are likely watching. Super Bowl is a family event and should be held to these standards, and all people who participated should be held accountable and fined if violations are committed. This one's pretty funny, from Las Vegas. I had a Super Bowl party at my house and watched the halftime show. That was the most disgusting, inappropriate show. I had to make all of my children go into the next room. The non-use of inappropriate language should stand no matter what language it's in. This is the most disturbing thing I've witnessed on live TV in a long time. The most disturbing. What do you guys watch for the most part? Because there's a lot more movies and TV shows out there that are much far worse compared to what Bad Bunny did out there. I just imagine this guy The Bad Bunny halftime show turns on. This guy in Las Vegas, out of all places. Yeah, coming from Las Vegas? Are you kidding me? You can walk 10 feet outside in Vegas and see things much worse compared to that halftime show. I just can't imagine this guy goes, all right, children, get to the next room. Get to the next room. I need to email the FCC about this. All righty. Here's Dog Star, all in now on Peach's Pit Party. It's Peach's Pit Party right here on K-Bear 101. I have talked about it before. I was born in 1996. I'm not necessarily a 90s kid because I was 4 when it turned 2000. I know, such a baby, as I've heard many, many times. It's quite crazy, though, that Maddie down the hall, I mean, she was born in 2006. By the age of 4 for her, it was 2010. Well, I came across this list from Bro Bible, and every radio show loves a great list. This one ranks 11 of the best fads of the 1990s. Number 1, the Macarena. Says here, if you weren't alive in the mid-90s or old enough to be aware of the world at that time, it is hard to comprehend how a fad like the Macarena could become so globally popular overnight. Spent 14 weeks at number 1 in the Billboard Hot 100 in 1996. So that means the Macarena was absolutely huge the year I was born. It was on the radio, the restaurants, in restaurants, at roller rinks. The Macarena was everywhere. Somehow everyone alive knew the dance as well. The dance wasn't all that hard. It's not necessarily all that difficult compared to like Gangnam Style, where that takes a little bit of skill, right? What on earth is a POG? P-O-G. Says here, Pogs were far from the first toy to go viral across America, but in the early to mid-90s, they were in a league of their own. The craze originated in Hawaii in the early 90s after the game was invented from the caps of a soda called Pog, but made it to the mainland by around 1993 and exploded in popularity. I don't know what that is. Okay, grunge music and style. I find myself not necessarily the biggest fan of grunge. I think it's more so because I've heard all of these types of songs over and over and over and over again. Speaking of being overplayed on the radio, not the Macarena. No, I'm talking about Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Nirvana. It even has the Melvins listed here and Mudhoney as well. The music born out of Seattle. If you're just now tuning in, I'm looking at this list ranking the top 11 fads of the 1990s. The Super Soaker at number 4. It says, in hindsight, it's a little wild how one squirt gun seemed to have a complete stranglehold on all of America for a few years, but such was the power of a Super Soaker, which exploded in popularity in 1991, remained a cultural fad for years to date. Super Soaker has generated over $1 billion in sales. A squirt gun has made $1 billion. It's like the guy who started the Pet Rock. You know, he was made a ton of money. Well, I mean, the Super Soaker, a water gun. Could you imagine? You invent a water gun. Next thing you know, $1 billion. Jinko jeans on this list. The Nintendo Game Boy, which I still have my Game Boy Color. Starter jackets. Man, I wish those were still a thing. I love seeing that Charlotte Hornets jacket. That thing's such a cool colorway to it. Slap bracelets as well. Third wave ska, Beanie Babies, and then ending the list here, rollerblades, which I will never, ever strap on a pair because I will break my tailbone or even worse, snap my neck falling wearing those things. Nirvana right there, speaking of grunge music, just talked about the 10 or 11 best fads of the 1990s. Grunge being one of them. The Macarena was at number 1, which I mean, if that's supposedly the best thing to come out of the 1990s, I'm glad I wasn't conscious yet until like 2001. You know, from when you're born to about 5 years old, you don't necessarily remember much of anything. But then all of a sudden it just clicks one day and you have your first memory, right? It's Peach's Pit Party, and let's talk about this weird news story. I mean, Victor and I were talking about how if you ever see somebody with cauliflower ears, you don't mess with them. Because that means they have wrestled, they most likely have experience in jiu-jitsu, some kind of fighting if they have cauliflower ears. Well, men in Russia are reportedly paying to have their ears intentionally deformed to look like seasoned MMA fighters. You know, cauliflower ear, usually an unwanted side effect of years spent on a wrestling mat or in a boxing ring caused by repeated blunt trauma. But now guys are paying specialists about $80 per year to create that. Per ear. Did I really just say per year? $80 per ear to create that weathered, lumpy look, all with the goal of looking intimidating to other guys. Which, I mean, could you imagine ear fishing somebody? You start a fight with that guy, he doesn't know how to fight. I mean, you shouldn't be starting fights with anybody. I'm just saying, like, he just ear fishes you. You think he's tough. Give him one punch, he doesn't know what to do. Gets knocked out. Hey, I'm going to take away your cauliflower ears. You don't deserve those. But what does the doctor do? Does he just punch your ear repeatedly until it puffs up? Do they do like what Steve-O did? Where I think was it during one of the movies where Steve-O was trying to get cauliflower ears or just one cauliflower ear, and he was intentionally hurting his ears so it'll puff up? How stupid. Here's Theory of a Dead Man. Again, they're going to be at the Mountain America Center September 23rd, and we gave away tickets for that show. We'll still give away some more tickets in the future. Make sure to download the K-Bear 101 app and allow all notifications so that way we can let you know when exactly we'll do another ticket giveaway. Here's Barricade, their latest track on K-Bear 101. It's Peach's Pit Party on K-Bear 101, and airports are one of the only places on Earth where time completely stops mattering. You can walk into an airport at 4:47 in the morning, and there's already a guy sitting at the bar double-fisting beers, like he's celebrating a divorce. The CEO of Ryanair wants airports to stop serving alcohol before morning flights because apparently too many people are getting hammered before takeoff. I get it. Nobody wants to sit next to the complete drunken fool screaming at the flight attendant on a budget airline to Ibiza, but airport beers, they're basically a tradition at this point. I mean, I don't drink myself. I have friends who, of course, do. My two friends, Matt and Jose, they travel quite a lot, especially Jose, and Jose is always at the airport bar no matter what time it is. The airport is the only place where ordering a burger and a beer at 6 a.m. doesn't make people judge you. In fact, people look at you like, oh, you know what? It's vacation mode. Respect. You're traveling. You have to deal with the airport. Of course you need that right now. This guy's out here trying to shut the whole thing down like he's the world's least fun hall monitor. And let's not pretend, though, that airports aren't built around this either. Like, you get through security, and it's immediately like bar, Carl's Jr., another bar, $19 breakfast burrito, bar, gift shop, another bar. Half the people defending airport beers are basically saying, listen, I'm not getting on a cramped flight with crying babies and a guy clipping his toenails unless I've had at least one overpriced IPA first. The funniest part is people are acting shocked that travelers drink at airports. Brother, people treat boarding Group C like they're storming Normandy. Of course they need a drink, right? All right, let's play some Black Veil Brides. Vindicate. K-Bear 101, sometimes in radio, things can go very smoothly. Other times, things just, fall apart, and you gotta deal with it. And at the concert over the weekend, we had a difficult time trying to get everything that we were told we would have, like the photo pass for Maddie down the hall, the extra ticket for her girlfriend Bryn, the interview opportunity. I was supposed to interview Vanna at the complex. I was so looking forward to it. Spent a good hour or so prepping for it. Sure enough, that Saturday morning I get told, hey, Vanna's not feeling all that well. We're trying our best to rest her voice in between shows. So for that reason, there's no interview. I understand. It happens, like I talked about at the beginning part of the show. Like, it's anything like that can pop up at any time. I know what it's like to deal with touring musicians at this point, doing this for 5 years. So we'll eventually set up an interview with her via Zoom, and luckily I already have those questions already prepared, which is nice. But also, we were finally able to get the photo pit pass at the show, thanks to Andrew, the drummer, and also the touring manager for Deadlands. Shout out to him. We got a photo pass for every single one of the bands. I don't think we ended up getting Chandler Layton's picks, but we should have. But we got Red Hook, we got Deadlands, we got Vanna. Maddie spent a good amount of time today editing those pictures, so I'll make sure to post those on our various social media platforms of the lovable Vanna at KBear 101 FM. Again, also shout out to Maddie for going into the pit, grabbing those pictures as well. Louisiana has been in the news as of late. This man from there, accused of running what might be the slowest criminal operation in human history. And I stupidly made a joke there. It's illegal turtle trafficking, all right? Federal agents say this guy allegedly moved more than 1,800 protected turtles out of Florida. So Florida is still mentioned, and shipped them overseas for the exotic pet trade. 1,800 turtles is an insane number. At what point do you realize maybe I'm becoming like this turtle supervillain? I love imagining the logistics of this operation. Most criminal masterminds, they're moving money, drugs, stolen cars. This guy built an empire around tiny reptiles that cross roads at very slow speeds. Authorities say he allegedly tried passing them off as captive bred turtles too, but investigators figured it out pretty quickly. Probably because somebody looked around and went, why does this man have enough turtles to start like his own little army? You know? Also, over $500,000 worth of turtles is what the value is of this whole thing. 1,800 turtles, $500,000 worth. Anyway, that is today's What the Headline right here on KBear 101, the most ridiculous news story of your entire day. Imagine saving up for a Disney cruise. I mean, cruises have been in the news a lot as of late. Not for good reasons. You save up for this Disney cruise, you fly all the way to Singapore, dragging your luggage through a terminal full of screaming children, boarding the ship, unpacking your room, mentally entering vacation mode, and then Disney comes over the speaker like, yeah, everybody has to get off now. Apparently, this brand new Disney adventure ship had mechanical problems after guests already boarded and the entire sailing got canceled. People ended up stranded in Singapore trying to figure out hotels, flights, luggage, kids, all of it. And cruise people are different when their vacation gets interrupted. Airline passengers get angry. Cruise passengers become like emotionally devastated. I mean, could you imagine a Disney adult being told the Disney cruise is not happening? These people plan cruises like military operations, matching shirts, Facebook groups, custom magnets for the cabin door, a countdown timer that's been running for 280 days, then suddenly, please exit the vessel. Disney is giving refunds, hotel stays, future cruise credits, expense money, which they kind of have to do at that point. I mean, still doesn't fix the fact that some family probably burned through thousands of dollars in PTO days just to spend 26 hours parked at a dock eating, stress pizza. Getting kicked off a Disney cruise has to feel surreal. 1 minute Goofy's waving at your kids. Next minute, you're hauling luggage back down the gangway wondering if your vacation is going to happen. Nope, not at all. Well, there's a depressing story for you. Here's 9 Inch Nails on Peach's Pit Party. I seriously wonder what would happen if I just teamed up with Becca, Victor's wife, and was just like, hey, you know what? We need to pull an epic prank on him. We need to put like some kind of reptile in Victor's hot tub, which is going to ruin the hot tub. I mean, would it? Yeah, I mean, it would have to get drained because there would be like, I don't know, reptile bacteria in the water. Because Victor's a big-time germaphobe, in case you were unaware. The dude barely shakes hands. I say it all the time that he is turning into Howie Mandel the older he gets. This Arizona man was doing yard work when he was greeted by a surprise swimmer in his pool, just a giant lizard. Yeah, he was outside his home in Peoria when he heard a loud splash and discovered this Asian water monitor, the world's second largest species of lizard, taking a dip. Wildlife experts say the lizard, which is native to Southeast Asia, can grow more than 6 feet long, was likely an escaped pet. Johnson snapped photos as it swam, then climbed out to sunbathe before wandering off on its own. About 20 minutes later, no one was hurt. The unexpected pool party ended peacefully. I mean, what happened to the reptile? Did it just get captured? Is it still on the loose? Is it going to come back to this guy's swimming pool? We may never know. Thanks for listening to Peach's Pit Party, the podcast. If you enjoyed the show, please share, subscribe, and rate the podcast. Peach's Pit Party is hosted by me, Peaches, aka Brendan Peach, and is a production of Riverbend Media Group. For more information or to contact the show, visit riverbendmediagroup.com. Until next time, Peach out.